Alright everyone, so I hope you are all wrapped up and you give me a good money tip because we are jumping on into chapter 27, nail tips and wraps. You know, I always gotta throw a pun because this is just, it's too hard not to. It makes it fun, it makes it interesting. This is a really quick chapter in this book, this section. You're gonna learn about some of the different types of wraps, the fiber wraps, really focus on the definition because that will be on your test. Also look up the objectives. It's a short chapter, but it's a lot to learn and it's a lot of technique. So it's going to be a lot of procedure stuff that you'll have to try in the classroom, or I'll try to find some way in the near future to demo this when everything clears up and I'm able to go shopping again. So typically nail wraps are the tips or the older, because UV gels are everything now, but these are the older way of doing things. So know that nail tips are plastic pre-molded nails shaped from a tough polymer made from acrylonitrile butadiene styrene. Butadiene. Acrylonitrile butadiene styrene. This is like a Harry Potter spell. So know that this is also known as ABS plastic. They adhere to the natural nail to add extra length, and they serve as a support for the nail enhancement. Know that your tips are combined with an overlay. Your overlay is going to be a type of nail enhancement product, and it's applied over the natural nail and tip application for added strength. Nail tips that do not have the reinforcement provided by the overlay are not long-wearing nails and can break easily. Because think of it like building something, you need support, and without that support, your nail tip's going to go whew. And when you get your nail tips, you'll get them in a whole sizing thing. You're gonna have to trim them down. You don't just like stick them on and like they walk out like that. That would not work. You actually need to get some tools, and you know, you have your general manicure tools. With the nail tips, you need some special tools. One of them is gonna be called the tip cutter. Tip cutter is going to be an implement that's similar to a nail clip, but it's designed to only cut the tip of the nail. If you cut your actual real nail with the tip cutter, it's going to ruin it, and it will also ruin your overlay and your tip. Also know that nail dehydrator is a substance used to remove surface moisture and any tiny amounts of oil left on the natural nail plate, and a variety of nail tips for nail tip application. Oh, sorry. So what that meant was, I don't know why I read that one sentence. So your dehydrator, it's kind of like an alcohol. That's honestly what I think it is, if I remember correctly. Now that removes oil, and then in addition to that, you're also going to need your buffer block, tip adhesive, abrasive board, and a ton of nail tips because, you know, fingers come in different sizes. You might have someone who needs a wider one, a smaller one. There might be some special conditions where a person, I can't even say that actually. I was going to say there might be a condition where someone's lacking a nail, in which case you'll have to find something. Funny story though, so I don't like deviate too much. Forgot to mention this in the previous chapter. This is up to your cosmetology teacher, but we had a woman that came in for a pedicure and she was missing her toenails due to diabetes, and she wanted us to put a nail tip on them, and we told her we could not because that would not be sanitary. Also know that many nail tips have a shallow depression called a well, and that serves as the point of contact with the nail plate. Know that the position stop is going to be the point where the free edge of the natural nail meets the tip, and this is where the tip is adhered to the nail. There's all types of nail tips, including partial well, full well, and well-less, which means no well at all. So when you look at the chart, you'll see what a well is. A well is something that's like a little transparent when you're looking at it. So know that there's a ton of different nail tips in different sizes, colors. It makes it easy to fit the client precisely to the right size and shape. Tips can be purchased in large containers of 100 to 500 pieces, as well as individual refill sizes. So you can order one giant set, and then as needed, if you need like more of the 10 or the 1 or the 7, you can say, oh, I want to order that, and it'll come in. That's a better business deal. Also, you don't want to make the mistake of using a tip that is narrower than the nail plate. This can cause a tip to crack and the sides to split down the middle. And if it's too big, it just won't fit on well and it will look funny. Also remember that rather than attempting to force a too small tip on the nail, it is better to use a slightly larger tip and use an abrasive board to tailor the tip before you apply it. You can also trim and bevel the well area before applying the tip to the nail, which can save you blending time. Nail tips that are pre-beveled require much less filing on the natural nail after application. This also lessens the potential for damage to the natural nail. Also, do not use fingernail or toenail clippers to cut tips. Cutting the tip with these clippers will weaken the tip and cause it to crack instead of using a tip cutter. Know that nail tip adhesive, also called nail glue, this is going to be the bonding agent used to secure the nail tip to the natural nail. This nail glue is extremely strong. Okay, like my father a while ago, Mom's a cosmetologist, she needed help getting the thing open. He actually tried to open it using his lip, and it was like, don't do it, be really careful. I've known people that tried to do their own extensions at home, which is a no-no, and they jacked them up by using the nail glue. Could not imagine what that would feel like on someone's scalp. That would be really itchy and you can't get it off. It does come in handy though, in addition to nails, and this is just from like real life advice. I was helping a student repair like her graduation uniform because the tassel came out and she was like having a full-on fit, and I'm like, okay, we don't have to like freak out like this. I'm like, all right, everyone quiet, watch this. Took the nail glue, squirted it in there, took the tassel, shoved the tassel in there, a little bit of a blow dryer, a few minutes. It stays exactly where you put it, so you can actually use it to repair stuff like that on the whim. But be very careful, because if you get it everywhere, it ain't coming off. You also want to use care when opening adhesive containers and point the opening away from your face. Don't be squeezing it, because if it gets in your eye, it will cause serious injury. You're going to be either losing sight of that eye or getting permanent lash extensions. So now is the time to read your procedure, nail tip application and nail tip removal. I'm going to take a mini break to get some water. So if you want to pause this right here, take a really quick break, because I know it's a short chapter and we're probably not going to get a 5-minute break because it is that quick. Do so now. All right, so I hope you all enjoyed your early break. So now we're going to jump on into nail wraps and then go into nail wrap maintenance, repair, and removal. So know that a nail wrap is going to be defined as any method of securing a layer of fabric or paper on and around the nail tip to ensure its strength and durability. Nail wraps are one type of overlay that can be used over nail tips. Nail wraps are also used to repair or strengthen natural nails or to create nail extensions. Know that nail wrap resin is used to coat the surface of the fabric wrap to the natural nail tip. Wrap resins are made from cyanoacrylate, a specialized acrylic monomer that has excellent adhesion to the natural nail plate and polymerizes in seconds. So when something polymerizes, that's a fancy way of saying hardening. It's a special type of chemical reaction. So nail wrap resin is able to harden quicker. Resins, it's a really funny word, but it means like almost like a sap. If you think about when you have a tree and you hit a tree with an axe, you'll have that like little drippy stuff that comes down and hardens. That's what tree sap is, type of resin. That's the texture it's like, it's very thick. Know that a fabric wrap is a nail wrap made of silk, linen, or fiberglass. Fabric wraps are the most popular type of nail wrap because of their durability. Fabric wraps were cut to cover the surface of the natural nail and nail tip and are laid onto a layer of wrap resin to build strength and enhancement. You can purchase fabric wraps in swatches, rolls, or in packages of pre-cut pieces, some with and some without adhesive backing. Know that the wrap material is the heart of the nail wrap system and gives each system its own unique property. Nail wraps can be used as an overlay to strengthen the natural nails or to strengthen the nail tip application. Know that silk wraps are made from a thin natural material with a tight weave that becomes transparent when the resin is applied. A silk wrap is lightweight and has a smooth appearance when applied to the nail. A linen wrap is made from a closely woven heavy material. It is much thicker and bulkier than other types of wrap fabrics. Nail adhesives do not penetrate linen as easily as silk or fiberglass because it is opaque. All the other materials are permeable or translucent. Even after wrap resin is applied, a colored polish must be used to cover it completely. Linen is used because it's considered to be the strongest wrap fabric. So know linen as being the strongest. Fiberglass wraps are made from a very thin synthetic mesh with a loose weave. These loose weaves make it easy to use and allow the wrap resin to penetrate, which improves adhesion. Even though fiberglass is not as strong as linen or silk, it can create a durable nail enhancement. Next is paper wraps, which is the thinnest of all of these types. Paper wraps are temporary nail wraps made from a very thin paper. Some clients and cosmetologists prefer to use a paper wrap. Paper wrap was one of the first materials ever used in nail wraps. They are quite simple to use but do not have the strength and durability of fabric wraps. For this reason, paper wraps are considered a temporary service and need to be completely replaced each time your client comes in for maintenance. A wrap resin accelerator is also known as an activator. It acts as a dryer that speeds up the hardening process of the nail wrap resin or adhesive overlay. Activators come in different types. You can have a brush-on bottle, pump spray-on, and an aerosol. Activator will dissipate in about 2 minutes after being applied. During this time, do not add any additional wrap resin, or you might find the activator on the nail causes the wrap resin to harden on the brush. The tip of the bottle or extender activator, wrap resin, my goodness. You may find that the activator on the nail causes the wrap resin to harden on the brush, tip of the bottle, or extender. Activator does not need to be applied after every layer of adhesive. This is an optional step. Activator can be used as needed, so if you feel like you need to do it to accelerate it, use it. The activator, I always think about it like it's almost like an enzyme, because enzymes speed up chemical reactions. That's what the activator does. Also know that in addition to your chosen wrap material, you will need wrap resin, wrap accelerator, nail buffer file, small scissors, plastic, and tweezers to perform a nail wrap overlay. Also know that to further strengthen a fabric wrap, some clients will enjoy a method cosmetologists like to call a dip. So know that with the dip, powder, and adhesive enhancements is the technique that clients like, and this technique, a fine polymer powder is sprinkled or spooned onto the nail over a complete fabric wrap. Several layers of dip powder can be applied. Any style of adhesive or resin can be used for this procedure. Usually an activator is used to ensure drying. Many clients who normally cannot wear monomer liquid and polymer powder nail enhancements on their nails because of skin sensitivity or allergy enjoy the service for additional strength and wearability it provides. Also know that you may have heard about or even tried using a method of nail enhancement called the no light gels. These were once used professionally, but now they're over the counter. They've lost their magic. This was something that was a newer technology for its day. I'm guessing around the 80s and 90s. They are available for purchase in the grocery store and drugstores. If you encounter a client who has used no light gels, you should know that the product consistency is thicker than a wrap resin and made from the same cyanoacrylate. No light gels employ a thick adhesive that many companies and marketers mistakenly call a gel. It's not a true gel like the UV gels. No light gels actually have the same chemical composition as wrap systems with wrap resin and can be used with a spray-on activator to harden or cure the adhesive. So nail wrap maintenance, repair, and removal. Know that fabric wraps need regular maintenance to keep them looking fresh, and nail wraps must have consistent maintenance after the initial application. So you'll have the client come in as needed or on their schedule, so this will have them rebooking with you, and you have to explain this to the client. So know that maintenance is the term used for when a nail enhancement needs to be serviced after 2 or more weeks from the initial application. The maintenance service actually accomplishes 2 goals. 1, it allows the cosmetologist to apply the enhancement product onto the new growth of nail, commonly referred to as a fill or backfill. Maintenance also allows the cosmetologist to structurally correct the nail to ensure its strength, shape, and durability. This is often referred to as the rebalance. Know that wrap maintenance can be done either with additional wrap resin in the 2-week fabric maintenance or with fabric and resin as in the 4-week maintenance. The maintenance is necessary for the nail's beauty and durability. If you don't care for something you get, it's not going to last as long. They also give you a business tip, and it says to host nail fashion nights. And what nail fashion nights are is in the salon or the nail salon, you'll have someone pay a fixed price for about $10 to $16 admission fee. I'm guessing with inflation, this is probably closer to $20 now. And you'll have the different looks, and you'll be able to do a giant party, have your nail techs work, have some wine, cheese, some kind of snack. And the sample size gets them hooked, and they can get some trial size products as a gift. And having this little thing, or you can do a raffle so someone wins a gift card. There's many ways to market getting a service when you open, and reaching out to the community and doing this is a really good thing. You can even do something where you have a little raffle, and if they donate, you'll donate some proceeds to a charity. That's another way you can host a nail fashion night. Bring in some magazines, have a good time, get everyone together, get social. Usually a lot of women like that when they're able to get out of home, they're able to get with other women, relax, have a good time, have a watch some TV. Really turn your salon into a fun time. Be able to have some fun holidays, and just don't be the traditional salon that has the strict hours and then, you know, everyone's exhausted. Make it fun, have a good time, but you can also make a profit from it. So next we're going to talk about fabric wrap repair, and there are certain circumstances when nail wraps need to be repaired. Your client's lifestyle plays a big role in this. So for example, I remember my cosmetology teacher telling us she was a huge gardener, and what happens when you're in a gardener and your hands are in that mulch in the soil, it's going to wear away at them. So typically those clients might need to be in a little bit more quicker. If your client has a desk job where they're hitting away at keys, that can wear them down. If your client doesn't really do anything exhausting, they might be able to go closer to the 4 weeks or longer. Know that a stress strip is going to be a strip of fabric cut to 1/8 of an inch length, and it's applied to the weak points of the nail during the 4-week fabric wrap maintenance in order to repair, strengthen a weak point in a nail enhancement. A repair patch is a piece of fabric cut to completely cover a crack or break in the nail. Use the 4-week fabric maintenance procedure to apply the repair patch. And then there's times where clients want the entire wraps removed. If they're doing state board, they can't have nails like that. And in order to remove nail wraps, it's really easy. You immerse the entire fingers and wrap in acetone, a little bowl. So they'll have their hand in acetone, and that acetone will melt the adhesive and it'll wear it off. And you can very carefully slide off each application. If they don't slide off as well, keep soaking until it comes right off, because it will give eventually. Don't be aggressive, because this will weaken the nail and you can cause damage. And you always want to suggest a manicure after to rehydrate and reharden the natural nail in the cuticle. So it's pretty easy to use. And let's see. And also to remove a nail tip, same procedures work. So nail tip is the same thing. Soak in acetone and come off. This always confuses a lot of students because not many people do this procedure. A lot of people prefer UV gels. That's like the biggest technology that a lot of you will do, and it is the biggest moneymaker in the salon if you're doing any kind of nail service. So that is that for this chapter. It was pretty quick. I know it's like a lot of information at once and it can be a little stressful. Don't let it get to you, because it is hard at first. Once you're able to be there and, like, you know, do this, they also have like a little model you can practice on. They give you a hand that you can practice applying this and just getting used to it. For your state board, you are going to have to demonstrate how to put a tip on. So what you'll do is get fitted for that, and then you have to mock it. So you'll put it on and then do the rocking method with how to put it on. It's a pain in the butt, but if your state board is a practical, you got to do it to pass. So that is that for chapter 27, and I hope you guys are getting some rest and getting some enhancements, because we're going to be covering chapter 28 next, which is monomer liquid and polymer powder nail enhancements. It's a good time.